Let's go, girls. Come on.
All right, here for another stitch with me. Today is August 12th, 2019. I'm Amy, and this is what we're working on today. So this is called Mother of Dragon, and this is one of my other BAPs. She's huge, 700 by 466. I don't know if you guys can see, because I can't. I mean, I can see what you see, but there's a huge bar in the middle of the screen, so I think, yeah, we're good. So I'm working up right about here in this area now, because I have page 1 and page 2, and now I'm working on page 3. So let's get started. Wish me some luck, because this time I have a pattern that I have to look at, and I have to make sure you all don't see the pattern. Whoa, paper's flying. I might have to switch out some threads, because we'll see how this goes. If I can tuck this over here on the side. I don't think you guys will be able to see that. At least I hope not. And I got a little bit of a start this morning to see. Let me see if I can move some stuff around my camera so you guys don't see the pattern. And so I can still see the pattern and still stitch. Yes? Okay. Perfect. All right. And from the comments that I received, view 1 and view 2 work, both of them. So I will continue to use both of them. And let's go to view 2. So I know exactly where we are. Perfect. All right. So let's just get going. I'm trying to move my bar to where I can see the timer. So hopefully that'll help me out. And yeah, here we go. Page 3. I'm super excited. And I want to take a minute and thank all of you who've commented on my first stitch with me. I'm glad that the random and the quiet and, well, I think the last one I did, I was pretty talkative. I was pretty okay. Because again, it was just 310. But this stitch with me, my decision roulette wheel chose this project, so this is what I'm working on. And I'm trying to set my elbows so that way I don't keep jostling around. Let me see if I just scooch you guys on over this way a little bit, if that helps. Okay. There we go. Hopefully that works out okay. So I have a feeling with this video there might be more counting involved, because if you've done a Heaven and Earth Designs, you know that confetti is the fun word that we use for these designs. But yes, thank you all so much for the kind and encouraging words of maybe Stitch With Me's are my thing. Hoping to keep going. And I feel like I'm bumping. Okay, let's just try this. Oh, sorry. Close your eyes for a minute. Might get a little dizzy. Okay, there we go. Perfect. I think. It's perfect for now. We'll see what happens in 2 seconds. So, yeah, so I did a Stitch With Me on Monday, my floss tube update on Wednesday, Thursday-ish. I did it on Wednesday, but I think we uploaded it on Thursday. And then I did a Scissor Fob Friday, y'all. I'm really, I'm hoping that my motivation stays up and I just keep going and I don't allow myself to get into another rut like I have been for a little while, and I'm out of frame because my frame is awfully little. There we go. Let's see if that works. So I have to remember that even though my camera is directly in front of my face, or my phone is directly in front of my face, my camera is way over here. So hopefully Linda is cooperating today and behaving herself. And we're not in and out of focus too much. Do I have a knot? No, okay. No, but I feel like my tail is caught. Which side is my tail? Did I catch my tail? Uh-oh. I might have. So let's... Am I making this worse? I might be making this worse. Is my tail there? So funny how I did this to myself, yet when my son cross stitches, I always tell him, make sure you watch your tail. Don't be losing your tail. See if I untwist this a little bit. If I can find it. Uh-oh. Okay. Well, this is already off to a fantastic fun start, right? But this happens. This is what happens to me when I stitch. I lose tails, people. It's okay. I'll find it. It's in there somewhere. How far back did I lose this thing? Again, it doesn't help when I'm used to cross-stitching directly in my lap. And now I'm stitching further. There it is. Oh my. Let me untwist my thread here a little bit if I can. Okay, let's try this again. And I need to go this one. There we go. I was wondering why my stitches were looking a little thick. There. We'll get it. We'll get it. So yeah, here we are for round 2. Okay, camera's over that way. Keep your stuff over there. I keep trying to scoop my... Here, let's try... Still a learning process. Let's try scooting my whole thing this way. So that way I can put my arms where they're supposed to be, according to me, and see if that helps. How did I do this last time? What did I do? Did I move this up and down maybe? Let's see if that... Alright. Now my stitching is under that bar, so I can't see, but at least I can, I think, see for the most part whether or not I'm in frame. But that's okay. We'll get there. We'll get there. Someday, I'm going to be able to turn this camera on. I won't have to make any adjustments because we will both just know how this is going to go. I'm either going to figure it out, or you guys are going to be so used to my shenanigans that it'll just be a thing. And it'll be fine. So there we go. Alright, now here, let me move my ruler down. I'm going to skip one. Okay. And I don't know how Jules does this. It's almost like she has the whole pattern just memorized of all the different patterns that she's doing. I swear she doesn't even count. She just goes. It's amazing. I'll get there. I'll get there someday. Biggest thing is stitching and hanging out with my peeps. Well, hopefully you guys are all stitching too, so you guys aren't even seeing what's happening. We're just hanging out, having a good time. Oh, so what's been going on? Let's see. Well, I want to say thank you to all of you who wished Jonah the best. And he was able to use his video, thank goodness. And he got VP. Y'all, he won it. I'm so proud of my little man. I'm so proud of him. Super excited. He's super stoked. He has no idea what really to expect, like what's going to be expected of him. But he's very excited to start this new student council journey. And I'm just so stinking proud of him. It was really cute. So they weren't supposed to find out until Friday. And they ended up announcing it on Thursday, I guess. And little Miss Scarlett's coming out, and one of her kindergarten teacher, who still works at the school and is still very close to Scarlett, was talking to her, and I could see Scarlett going, shh, shh, don't say anything, shh, don't say anything. And she's putting her hand up to her mouth, shushing her teacher, And her teacher's like, all right, I didn't say a word, I didn't say nothing. And she walks by me and she giggles and she gives me a thumbs up, the teacher does. And I'm like, what the heck was that all about? And Scarlett's like, Jonah has some very sad news for you. And I'm like, sad news for me? What happened? Are you okay? And Jonah comes in and he's like, yeah. So they announced the whole student council thing today. And I was like, okay. And still being optimistic, even though he sounds really sad. And he goes, well, I found out one of my good friends is moving away. And I'm like, okay, what does that have to do with student council? This is what I'm thinking in my head. What is your friend moving away having to do with the announcements of student council? And all of a sudden he pops off and he goes, but I won vice president. And I'm like, you stinker pot. So that's how he announced it to me that he won. And then I understood why Scarlett was shushing her teacher. Because she didn't want her to ruin it for Jonah. She wanted Jonah to be able to pull his little prank. So cute. And then, what else did we do this week? Did we do anything else this week? Oh, I took Jonah to a STEM program that the high school was holding, just so he could see what it was all about. Now, unfortunately, he can't join until the 9th grade. But I talked to one of the teachers there, and for those of you who may not know, because I didn't know until Jonah was talking about it, the STEM program is let's see if I can do this right, Science, Mathematical, Engineering, Technology program, I think. And then STEAM is where they add the arts into it. So, it's biochemistry, computer. Ooh, I'm going to drop my pattern. I had a feeling this was going to happen because this is on the wrong side, but it's okay. We'll make it work. Just hang out, little buddy. Okay. Computer science and engineering, I think, are the 3 different courses that are given by this high school. And so they said it was for 6th through 9th. So that's why I thought, okay, maybe this is a program that, we would pay for him to do outside of school, but it's not. So that was kind of a bummer. Okay, I have to resituate myself because this is not working. My elbow is... Okay, let's move the TV remote so I don't accidentally do anything there. Scoot closer, a little closer. Okay. Let's see. Can I finally... I think I need a pillow cushion for under my elbow. Alright. We'll get there. Anyways. So I thought it was a program that we would pay for outside of school. But it's not. It was kind of just a... Hey, if we have the junior STEM program in your school, you can join so that way you kind of are prepared when you join in the 9th grade, but his school doesn't offer that program. So I don't know if there's too many schools in our area that do. So it's... I'm going to scoot you guys this way because I feel like my hand is going to knock it over. Oh, geez. Okay. It doesn't help that I have a boatload of fabric around me either. I don't know if you guys can see all this. It's all folded up, and then I've got the other side, and then there's the underneath and all the stuffs. Oh, I didn't turn my phone on silent. Hopefully you guys didn't hear a notification. My husband just texted me. I don't know what he said, but I'll have to text him later. Not that he'll know that until he's editing this video. That's okay. So the area that we live in is a smaller suburb, I guess we could call it. And so a lot of the programs aren't offered out here. So my daughter's high school just got a drama class, or a theater class, whichever you prefer to call it. And, oh boy. I have a feeling this one's a little bit rougher than the last one. I don't know what I'm doing different. But it's okay. It's alright. We'll just keep messing with the settings until we figure it out. Just don't fall off the edge here, little buddy. We don't need any broken equipment. So yeah, there's a lot of programs out there for my kids, but not in the area that we live in, which is okay. I love the area we live in too much to just pack up and move. My children have all developed relationships with the schools that they're in. So, and my son is a really good mathematician that I firmly believe that even if he doesn't have any prior background, in the 9th grade, he could just jump right in. Because they were talking to him about all sorts of, I don't even know, hydraulic pressure, stretchy chamber things or something. Again, not tech savvy. I'm sure you guys have picked up on that already. And they were like, do you even know what that is? And Jonah's like, yeah, I know what that is, and I know what it does. And he's like explaining it, and I'm like, where did you learn this stuff? And of course his response is YouTube, Mom. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. He wants to build. He wants to build things. So, and then we went into the computer, what was that class called? Computer engineering, maybe? Computer science, bioengineering? I'm not sure. This is why we don't leave these things to me. But, I wanted to go because I was curious. And of course, I watch a lot of true crime shows. Like, that's literally what's on my TV 24/7. And so the bioengineering was very interesting to me because that's where they do all the genetic testing and learning how to create viruses and destroy viruses and make antidotes and all that stuff. So I was like, Jonah, don't you want to take that class? He's like, no, Mom. I'm like, darn it. I want to learn so much about all the things. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, I think I screwed up somewhere. Hold on. Here's 2. Do 2. Skip 1, do 1, skip 1. Okay, got it. Now that makes sense, I hope. Okay. Oh my gosh, and I have a feeling the word okay is going to fall out of my mouth a lot. So, I would say sorry, but I'm not quite sure that I am. And I'm not even in frame. Oh my. What were we talking about? We were talking about the boy. It's always the boy. Well, lately it's been about the boy because he's had a lot of exciting stuff happen in these past few weeks. So, oh yeah, so originally he was like, Mom, I want to do engineering, I want to build. That's what I want to do. And so the ongoing joke has been, okay, you're going to work for NASA and be an engineer and make a boatload of money and buy Mom a house. Well, then he's like, yeah, but I'm kind of thinking about computer engineering because that's where they build computers from scratch. That's where they, make video games and build apps for your phones and stuff like that. He's like, I'm kind of interested in that too. Well, he was talking to one of the kids who had graduated from this high school 2 years ago. And he gave Jonah some amazing advice. He's like, listen, kid, seriously, if you can do this in high school, do it while you can. And then when you are prepping to graduate, you can go ahead and take the AP tests, I think it is. And he's like, as long as you pass them, you don't have to, those apply towards your college credits. And so when he graduated high school, he had like 12 college credits already applied. So he basically skipped his freshman year of college, which was smart. And then of course he got scholarships and everything because he had high GPAs, and he obviously proved that they basically really didn't need to teach him anything from freshman year. They just needed to start from sophomore year and work their way up with him, and he was only like 17 or 18. So he had a lot of colleges offering him scholarships, and I think he said he was going to Stanford. And so, he was telling Jonah, he's like, I kicked an entire like year and a half, 2 years of college out of the way just because I kept my head down and did what I needed to do in high school. And he goes, I did, I think it was computer engineering and engineering. Those were his two focuses. And so he told Jonah, he's like, you can do both. He goes, career-wise, you'll probably choose one or the other. You're either going to build stuff or you're going to build computer stuff. But I'm majoring in both of them. And so Jonah was like, I want to do that. And I was like, okay. Well, on the way home, Jonah was like, Mom, yes. How do you think all of this is going to work with my football career? Wait, what? we weren't talking a football career. He's like, yeah, I know, but I'm going to start my football career in high school too. Do you think I'll have enough time to balance out the high school or the STEM program along with the football practice and all that other stuff? And I'm like, you realize, Jonah, that the STEM program is going to take a lot of time. Like, you have to do a lot of research. And the way they explained it is that, like, your first 2 years, you're basically just intaking information. You're learning how things work. By your junior year, you're creating things. And by your senior year, at the beginning of the year, you have to decide what you're going to invent. And by the end of the year, in order to graduate, you have to, or pass those classes, you have to invent it. And then all of your inventions go to competitions throughout the state and region, depending on where you place. And then you can get it patented if somebody picks it up. So I'm like, this is a lot of time and energy that needs to go into the STEM program. I don't think you're going to have time for football. And he's like, no, Mom, I can do both. Okay. Not going to argue. I'm going to let him be optimistic. And I think Jonah's going to be like me. I think the more you throw on his plate, the better he's going to become. Because I was that way when I was younger. I was balancing a full-time job with going to high school and living on my own at 16. And the more stress I had on my plate, the more determined I was not to fail. And I get this weird inkling. Oh my gosh, I can't figure out where I'm going. Do I need to angle this down more? Down more? Let's see if that helps. I can't seem to stay in frame. This time it's not focusing. Good job, Linda. Good job. This time it's all me. But yeah, I was the type of kid that the more I had on my plate, the more determined I was not to fail. And so the more I would take on. And I get this weird inkling that my son is going to be the same way. The more pressure he has, the better he'll do. I don't want my son to live that way, because all my gray hairs now, at only 33 years of age, show what I did in my younger years. But, he's still young. 2, 3, 4. And if he can, man, I just think about that. If he can seriously get a scholarship for football, because he gets scouted out, and then turn around and get scholarships for science programs and mathematical programs or engineering programs, I'm not going to have to pay for his college at all. Like, not a cent. Okay, making sure I'm lining up. And then I'm just about to play the infamous game of Thread Chicken. Which I'm very surprised a lot of you peeps have not heard that term. Thread Chicken. I've been getting a lot of comments about how that's a new game we're all playing together. And then this one is 2-4. Okay. 2-4 skip. How do you guys count your things out? Or do you guys even have to count? I'm sure there's some stitchers out there who don't even have to count. They just look at the pattern once and just go. I want to be like that one day. Although I have CRS, so chances of that happening are not very high, because I can't even remember how many stitches I just did. I'm pretty sure it was only 3. 1, 2, 3, yeah. Okay. So I'm going to do this one, and I'm going to end my thread chicken here. Whoop. Let's see if I can do this without hitting the camera. maybe, come on little buddy. These are the needles that have the ball tip. I love them, except for this part. Wow. There we go. Oh my. Okay. Half an hour? Oh man, I don't feel like I got very far. That's okay. It's okay, I'm slow. I'm willing to admit that I am slow at just about everything I do. It's all good. Get some more thread here. And so, yes, that's what's been going on with the boy. What else have we got? Oh, I made some fobs on Friday. I made 2 of them. I made a Wonder Woman and Belle, because I had, you know, 5 years ago when I made the fobs for Michelle's charity events. Michelle is Michelle Garrett Bendy Stitchy on YouTube. Or the floss tube. Skip 1, 5. I sent her, I think, 6 different styles for her to do for her charity. And apparently they were a hit, so that made me very excited. So then I had, you know, people requesting, hey, could you make this kind? Could you make this design? Do you have these type of beads? Can you make this? So on and so forth. So I still have my list. I have not forgotten any of you. So if you have requested a fob from me, seriously, it is coming. The first 2 off my list are done. Now, when I'm in reference to the ones on my list, it's these people have specifically requested a specific type. So the first young lady asked for Wonder Woman, and the second one asked for Belle, and so they both got what they wanted. I promised them first dibs, so if they didn't like it, all they had to do was go, you know, it wasn't really what I had in mind, and then I was just going to put it up on my Instagram and see if anybody else was interested in it. Luckily for me, both of the young women immediately responded and said, I'll take it. I will take it. So, I'm going to work on the next 2, hopefully soon. And because I think I have 10 on my waiting list altogether, so 2 are done. So I have 8 more to go. And I will work on theirs, and as soon as theirs are done, I will post, again, will contact the person first and send them photos, and if they decide never mind, or it's not what I had in mind, or whatever they might, you know, if they don't want it, just they don't want it. It's not that big of a deal. I will start posting them on my Instagram. And so I think that's the best way for me to go about doing it. I don't want to pat myself on the back and say I might end up opening an Etsy store, but I also don't want to discourage myself that I'm not whoa, what are the words? Words are hard. Words are hard. Hold on. Drink. I don't want to discourage myself into thinking that nobody's going to buy them, because that's what took me so long to start making them in the first place, if that makes sense. So I don't want to discourage myself and say, oh, I'm not good enough to have an Etsy shop. So maybe someday. Not today, and tomorrow doesn't look good either. But I think I'm going to start with Instagram. I've seen a lot of people kind of start there and try to sell some stuff. And if stuff doesn't sell on there, that's when they decide, okay, I'm going to take it over to Facebook or go to open up an Etsy store and sell things from there. My scissor fobs are kind of a one-of-a-kind design, mainly because I usually don't have the exact same set of beads for more than one scissor fob, if that makes sense. So like the Wonder Woman has, what is that called? A tassel on the bottom of it. I only had one tassel. So none of my other scissor fobs will ever have a Wonder Woman tassel unless by chance I'm able to find that tassel again. But the rest of the body will never look the same because I can't remember what the heck I did in the first place. So they're kind of unique in that way. And I need to scoot you back this way. Let's try that. Okay. Because no two will be exactly identical. Which I think is kind of the point of handmade, right? I mean, like, with project bags, it's different because the fabric is the same for the most part. Like, you may not get two identical bags that look exactly the same because the fabric is, you know, you have a heart over here and then the next one has a heart over here or something like that. But they look similar, if that makes sense. I hope I'm making sense. I had a feeling these videos would be rambly. And so far, I have not let you down. But yeah, my scissor fobs, two will never be the same. I might have two of the same green gnomes, but they won't look identical. Because I can look at the picture. I've tried. I had one person ask for one of my gnome fobs that I did, and they're like, I really want that exact same one. And I'm like, I'll do the best I can. And even looking at the picture, I'm like, yeah, I don't know what was there. I don't know where that bead came from. So, because when I set up, it's kind of how, if you watched my Fob Friday, that's literally how I set it up. I will pull all sorts of different beads from my collection and throw them into a tray or in little sections around me. And I just go. I don't pre-plan anything. I don't like to pre-think anything except for what is my main design. Because then it requires too much thinking and then it makes my brain hurt and then I don't want to do it. Which is kind of odd because, again, if you watch the fob video, all I did was think through that video about what looks good with what. But there's no pre-planning involved, if that makes sense. It's just kind of a pick it up, does this work, go. Skip that one and do the next row. Okay. So, yeah, I don't pre-plan. So when I'm done with the scissor fob, literally everything goes, I put everything away and I reset my entire desk. So everything is blank. And then I pick up my next main item, I guess, per se, like Belle. Belle was the one thing that had to be on there. So I picked up Belle and I set her in the corner of my desk and said, okay, what am I going to make work with you? And I did all yellows and golds with a little bit of white. And so I went through my stash of beads and tried to find as much gold and yellow as I could find, which I barely made enough to make the bell. So, you know. And then I think the next one I have to do is a mermaid one. The mermaid tail. I think that's the next request. So, I'm not quite sure if I'm going to do the mermaid one on video or if I'll have that one done beforehand. But I am super excited. And, oh, I just bumped the camera. I'm so sorry. Linda, you're drunk. Stay focused. At least you're focusing for me. At least I hope you are, because I haven't really been paying attention. And train of thought is gone. It took off without me. Lost my train of thought. I got so nervous about bumping the camera. What were we talking? We were talking about scissor fobs, but I had a train of thought, and it, like I said, drove off, and it left me in the dust. Because I don't remember what I was going... Oh, mermaid. Yeah. So I think the mermaid one is next. And I would really like to get these fobs done for these ladies that I've been promising. It's literally been about 7 months since I've talked to all of these women, and I feel really guilty about it, but the good news is I'm pumping them out now, and all of you lovely ladies are so understanding and just, there are no words. Thank you is not enough. Gratitude is not big enough. There just are no words. You guys have all been so understanding about how my 2019 year has been going, which has been crazy and hectic. And you all have just been so patient with me when I have dropped off the face of the earth and not made videos and come back out of nowhere. And I made promise to do fobs and still have yet to keep that promise. But I'm working on it and we're getting better. And I'm sticking with that motto of getting in gear and getting rid of the fear. And we're just going to keep chugging along with my little life here. And I am so grateful to all of you. And again, grateful seems like such a tiny little word to express how I truly feel. The support of the Gidge box so far has been amazing. My friend who was the first person to get the Gidge box, so awesome. She contacted me, was like, would you be okay if I just kind of dropped your Google Doc link in my videos? Heck yeah. Thanks, buddy. So it's just, you know, everything happens for a reason. And the one thing my mom always used to tell me, that even as a kid, she's like, I never worried about you because I knew someday and every day I never had to worry about where you were, what you were doing. I knew you could take care of yourself. I knew that if you put your mind to something, you wouldn't fail. And so far, she hasn't been wrong. The only reason why I've ever failed is because I quit. So now is not the time to quit. Now is the time to push. And that's what I'm trying to do. So thank you all so much for being so encouraging about this. And about all the other crazy stuff that I've got going on in my life. And I'm going to take a peek at that next row. Nope, this is where confetti starts. Okay. So I'm going to skip all this. And I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Right? Yeah. I actually thought we might have to change colors here, but I don't think we will. I think I'm going to be able to stick with this one color. Oh, dang it, I bumped the camera again. Sorry. And so 1, 2, 3. This is how I lost my tail last time. And across to the last one. Let's pull that out of the way. There we go. Am I still in frame? Kind of? Yeah. Is Linda focusing? Looks like. Okay, we're good. So yeah, super, super excited. Gidge box is going. My videos are going. Scissor fobs are on a roll. I am just super grateful. Super, super grateful. And it's to all of you lovely peeps. We're just ever so supportive. So, let's see, where are we at on time? I think I moved the bar to where I can actually see the clock. It looks like we're at almost 38 minutes. I would say that I don't want these to be forever long, but we've met. I can't tell time apparently, so we're just gonna keep. I think I'm going to finish this row right here, and then we'll call it good, I think. Pretty sure. Oh, man. I've got to say, though, it's been really, really exciting, and I'm super pumped. My husband is super pumped, and he's been, helping me in so many different ways, between editing and helping me throw up videos and again creating the Gidge box for me and showing me how everything works. And I've got a piece of tail there. And then my kids are all doing pretty well. My teenager has typical teenage drama stuff, which I will take in. And Scarlett's still trying to, she's all excited because she's got 7th and 8th graders asking to be part of her bully committee, which is awesome. And then of course Jonah with his safety patrol that he does. So with safety patrol he helps the kids, he helps guide the kids to the bus. For now, because they don't have enough students in the patrol yet, like they did last year. And when they get more kids, they'll start helping the teachers out, because there's a designated pickup and drop-off area. So they'll get kids to stand in the designated pickup area, and they'll help the little ones to the cars. All right, I think I'm going to call it good there. So not too bad, I don't think. I can't tell you how many rows we got done, because I didn't count. But yeah, there we go. So I'm going to keep working on this page 3. Let me switch you back to view 1. There we go. I'm going to keep working on page 3. This is the project that I'm working on today. She's amazing. My husband is a huge fan of Game of Thrones. I haven't seen it yet, so don't say anything. I haven't seen it yet. I'm still trying to read all the books. So, the book 2 seems to be... Oh, I may have just skipped over my time limit. Darn it. Oh well. The hubby can splice them together because he's good at that sort of stuff. Yeah, so my husband's a huge Game of Thrones fan. I'm on book 2, which seems incredibly difficult to get through. The first one wasn't so bad. The second one seems a little bit tougher. But I will finish it someday. Because I still have 3 more books. And apparently there's more books to come, but the author hasn't written it. I don't know the whole backstory, so if you know the backstory behind all that, could you let me know what's going on? Because it's going to stink if I'm reading a series of books that's not complete. But yeah, okay. On that note, I will bid you adieu, stay random, and don't kiss your projects. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!